Hello everyone and welcome to my new video where I talk about Death Stranding. Now this game is made by Hideo Kojima, who is a mastermind of Metal Gear Solid series and delved into Silent Hills that we unfortunately didn't get to see. It was cancelled by Konami and the two of them went their separate ways. Honestly, it's a real shame that we didn't see this game come to light. It would be so cool. But instead Konami focused on pachinko machines and Hideo Kojima went to Sony and that pretty much funded him into making Kojima Productions, and with his team, most of them came from Konami and some came out from others, and made a new game called Death Stranding. Now we didn't see anything until E3 2016 when they showed a trailer, and what we saw was kind of Hideo Kojima like anyways. You see Norman Reedus on the beach holding a baby and that's about it. It's very confusing as we didn't know what it was about, and then fast forward to get more trailers and more information and gameplay. But now that I got the game in my hands, let's see what it's all about. I'll be playing the PlayStation 4 version of it by the way, but before that, one thing I will say is that this game has a lot of celebrities in. Some of them I know and some of them I don't. Like Mads Mikkelsen, I only know him because I watched Casino Royale. Troy Baker, I mean who doesn't know him by now? A very well recognized voice actor. A film director, Guillermo del Toro, I know him from watching Hellboy 1 and 2 and Pan's Labyrinth. And the rest are Leah Seydoux, Margaret Qualley, Tommy Earl Jenkins, Lindsay Wagner, and another film director called Nicholas Winding Refn or Refn. I'm sorry that I butchered all these names. They use technology such as photogrammetry and motion capture to capture the details. Their facial model in the game looks super good. It's like they're acting in a movie. But first, before the game came out to the public, everyone else was criticizing it, calling it boring and that it's a walking simulator. But now since I put like 16 hours into this game, it's kind of true. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the gameplay and my summary of the story. Now I haven't completed the story. As I said, I'm 16 hours in and I'm only in chapter 6, and most people they're probably 50 hours in and only on chapter 5. I mean, there is so much to do in this game. Now you play as Sam Bridges, played by Norman Reedus, as you pretty much have to deliver supplies to point A to point B, and I understand why this can put people off as they think it might be boring and repetitive. Chapter 1 to chapter 3 is really slow, and when it gets to chapter 4 and onwards, the story and the progression gets really good as you have more varieties to handle certain situations. Now of course in the trailer you see that Norman Reedus was holding a baby, and that baby is pretty much your companion as he can spot the mysterious creature called BTs, and these creatures are kinda like in between the world of the living and the dead. Honestly, I'm a bit confused. At the start of the game you have to put in your date of birth, and the game chooses a different constellation, as if you ordered them you get more perks, I think. I mean, the game starts with a long cutscene as you see your character just riding around in a bike and gets caught by these creatures. And my first impression was that this cutscene was dragging on, as one minute you think that they've disappeared and then the creatures come back, then they disappear again and come back and so on. Of course your character Sam Bridges isn't alone, as he counted with another character called Fragile that's played by another actor that I don't know, and there you pretty much have to find your way across the terrain to reach the station and deliver supplies. Now honestly, this game is really beautiful as there are snowy places, green places and ravines. Like the scenery isn't always the same. When you're at the right spot and move the camera to look at the scenery, honestly you're thinking, how did they do this? The game looks so beautiful. Now of course when you deliver supplies you can put them all on your back, but keep in mind that you can lose balance and fall over, which is a nice little detail. And also you can put supplies on your right and left shoulders and your right and left hip. I'm just thinking, how the hell can you carry all this weight? I mean, at this point it just gets too ridiculous, as I always keep thinking that it's playing Jenga. But anyways, as you deliver these supplies, it won't be as easy, as like I said, you're walking from point A to point B. And at the start of the game you're not left with much options other than to walk and run. Now this game has details, as you have to take care of your boots or make new ones to replace your old ones, as if you constantly wear them out your feet starts to bleed and you lose health. And of course if you're carrying too much weight, Sam will easily lose balance and go all over the place. You can control him by using L2 and R2 to pretty much hold the cargo down, but the journey will be a lot slower as you constantly lose stamina. Now when you progress further, you do have things like bikes and trucks to drive around, so that negates the critics saying that it's just a walking simulator. But keep in mind it's not as easy as you think, as driving in this game is kind of difficult, especially with bikes. I mean, driving trucks that can go over small rocks and all, but they're not as mobile and quick as a bike, so it's best to use the bike. And when you do use it, it's constantly a bumpy ride, as every rock will stop you, even the small little pebbles on the ground. And you can craft materials to help you out through your journey. You have a ladder that will help you cross the lake or help you climb steep hills and cliffs, a climbing anchor that you attach to the ground ground that helps you climb down a cliff, a portable printer so you can print pretty much what you need, like generators that will help charge up your vehicles and other sorts, a bridge so it's easier for you to get to one side to the other, a post box that's pretty much you can handle all your supplies and equipment and get your bearings together, a watchtower. Now with these you can scan the environment to see what's around, a portable house and a timefall umbrella thing, and many more. Now this game has a unique weather system as you have to be careful when traveling through rain and snow, as when these happen you can guarantee that the mysterious creatures are roaming about. This baby can pretty much help you sense these things. You can't see them fully, but you have the thing on your back that flashes every time they get closer, and it turns orange when it's super close, and when that happens you have to pretty much hold your breath and walk slowly away from him, and if you don't do that, maybe because you probably have low stamina, then all hell breaks loose. You get trapped in a puddle and these people that are trapped on the other side are trying to hold you down and drag you in. You can shake them off, but if you fail they will drag you across, and then you're greeted with these monsters that you have to escape from. Now when you progress further onto the story, you get equipment that can cut the umbilical cord of these creatures that pretty much sends them to the dead world, and if it's too much to handle the baby can get stressed, and when that happens it pretty much becomes useless, as then you can't track down the creatures that are around you, making it difficult. But you can calm the baby down by rocking it up and down or shaking it violently. And another thing, when you go through these rain or snow, they are called timefall, and that basically means that wherever it touches it will age rapidly and die, and that same thing can happen to your cargo, as if you go through the rain or snow it will damage it and you pretty much get a game over. So make sure you carry a repair spray, as it happens to me a couple of times, but this won't happen to you as you're protected by your own clothes. Now of course these aren't your only enemies, as you have humans to deal with as well, called Mew. Now if they see you, they'll chase after you and try to steal your supplies. It can get difficult when you first meet them, but then further on you have more options and tools to deal with them, like weapons, bomb and so on. But you have to choose to kill them or not kill them, basically a lethal or non-lethal takedown. Now if you don't kill them, the bodies pretty much become safe, but if you do kill them, and after a while the body will transform into BTs, which are those creatures that I mentioned. And to make sure those things don't happen, you have to burn the body. You also have hand-to-hand combat in this game. I mean, when I was getting chased by these mules on the ravine, I was just constantly beating them up, leading them over so they can fall down into it. And honestly, I just thought that they would just keep respawning because there were so many of them. But then eventually all died down and I won. You barely use hand-to-hand combat system in this game, and it's honestly a shame that I didn't record that fight. I only got the last part of it. Now of course in this game when you die you can sort of come back to life, but when you do all your supplies gets taken away if the mule kills you. But I'm not sure what happens if the BT will kill you, because I haven't died to them yet. Now when you go inside these major stations, by either collecting supplies or dropping them off, you can rest in your own little safe house, and in this safe house you can pretty much look at your own figures, take a shower and look at Norman Reedus naked, go to the toilet for number 1 or number 2, check on BB, looking at your weapons or customizing your outfit, and even take pictures looking at the mirror. You can also fast travel in this game, but the unfortunate thing is you can't carry any equipment with you, so it kinda encourages you to travel. And this game does have a product placement, well until recently, that you can drink Monster Energy drink. I mean you can still drink them through the canteen when you travel around, so I guess I'm lucky enough to drink one at least. You can also put on sunglasses and a hat. I mean these don't do anything other than to make yourself look cool, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the safe house. And the boss fight, I'm only going to talk about the first one as I don't want to spoil the rest. And honestly, these boss fights are pretty much easy. I died to the first one because the monster threw a giant rubble at me. I don't want to talk too much about the story, as like I said I don't want to spoil anything, but from what I understand of it, it's not confusing as many people would have thought it would be. I mean the narrative is basically connecting with others and not being alone. That's the best way I can describe it, and if you played the game you find out for yourself what I mean. I'm on chapter 6 and the story can pretty much get sad at times as well, and I think in chapter 6 or chapter 5 you watch a cutscene, as when the cutscene plays out it stops and gives you a button prompt so that you can do it yourself. Now of course when this happens my mind instantly thought of Metal Gear Solid 3 with the boss. Now of course it isn't exactly the same, as when it happened over there I kinda hesitated to press the button to shoot her. And in this one, I didn't even hesitate to press the button. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is sad, but the cutscene was just dragging on. And that's one thing about the cutscene, is that it's super long, and that's probably one of the reasons why people don't like it as well. I don't mind, because I pretty much loved it when Metal Gear Solid 4 did that. But then again, that's the finale of the franchise. But then again, these two games are very different from each other. I did kind of get the same vibe as Metal Gear Solid 5, like collecting supplies. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but some instances during the gameplay, that was all I can think of. And yeah, in this game there are a lot of things to do. I'm already in chapter 6 about 16 hours in. I will say that from you to get to one chapter to another, it's extremely long to get through, especially from chapter 1 to chapter 3. And honestly, these missions to me are kind of like filler. You can carry around things like bombs, a body, alive or dead, things that are super fragile. You have time based as well. You have to get from one place to another in like, let's say 30 minutes. But these are forgiving as well, because honestly it's not too difficult for time trial. And do not damage items beyond a certain percentage. You can use augments to help you out. Like you have one that'll help you carry more supplies, but you can't attach supplies to hit. But my favorite augment is the speed, as you run faster and can jump long distances. You can even jump over a lake if you have the skills for it. And when you get to your destination and drop the supplies off, you get evaluated on how well you did, like how fast you got there, what's the condition of the supplies, and how many did you carry. I mean, most of the time I just got S rank. Two things I like about this game is that if you have an online connection, you can see what people built and use it for yourself. You can also use their vehicle and deliver lost cargo to earn more like, which is funny, rather than building your own and wasting your supplies. And the second is that this game has ton of Easter eggs. I'm not gonna spoil them all because that's for you to find. So yeah, I can kind of see what Kojima was saying when this genre is all about connecting. As I said, that's pretty much what the story is about. And one last thing I want to talk about is the genre. Kojima said that he wanted to make a new one, but I honestly don't know if this is going to catch on, as most people will like it and most people will hate it. I mean, think of the Metal Gear series. When that came out, people called it an action game when it was a stealth game, and many other developers follow suit on that with Splinter Cell and so on. But with this genre called Strand, I honestly don't know how the other developers can make this type of game if they follow suit. And if people hate the game, then I think that they haven't fully played any Hideo Kojima game properly to understand his creativity and message. I honestly don't mind going for the platinum trophy if it's easy to get. And the music, I didn't hear it enough, as the music just pops up randomly when you're traveling, and that's rare. And you know what, I say give this game a try if you haven't got any other games to play. And for my score, I give this game an 8 out of 10. And yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. And trust me, there's a lot more, but I don't want to spoil anything for you. And with that said, I've been AnimersiveXP. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. That is some good ass drink. Again? Okay. With that, I finally got enough energy to play the rest of the game. Is this healthy though? I've already drank the last two. Okay. Oh god, I feel sick. But hey, got one more left. Cheers.